Let's just get it clear. Is it Mina or is it Mina?
Do you know, I don't really mind, but do you want me to take a position?
To clear some
Mina.
debts, yeah.
Say Mina.
That
does make my dad Mr. Mina.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm always slightly ambivalent about whether to insist on it.
But. You've been with us for 3 books now, Still Midnight, The End of the Wasp Season, and now The Red Road. How have you settled into Orion so far? It's
been fantastic. They just keep inviting me to parties and dinners, and it's very hard. It's a hard life.
Before, you came to us already with 7 books. You came to us already with the John Creasy Dagger for Best First Novel. What did you do before you became a novelist?
Oh God, I did everything. I left school at 16 and I worked in lots of jobs. I worked in a meat factory. I worked in a nursing home as an auxiliary nurse and things like that. And then I got into university to study law. Like I went back to college as an adult, and as a mature student went to university and studied law. And then I was lecturing in law and doing a PhD in mental illness and female offenders. And I got a grant to do that, and I misused my grant to write a crime novel. And my supervisor and I were such good friends, but by the time I said to him, I've squandered the public money I was given to do this research, and I've written a crime novel, and he said, that's brilliant, let's go for lunch. But maybe I was such a bad academic, he was just glad to see the back of me. But I named a character in one of my books after him. His name's Professor Neil Hutton, and I called the character Neil Bananas Hutton. So he was a very violent character in one of my books. He was quite chuffed about it.
And it was money well spent because you won the John Creasy Dagger.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Actually, it was like a fairy story about... People ask me, how did you get published? And I don't really want to tell them because it lays out false hope. And really, I wrote 3 chapters of a crime novel because really what I wanted to do was write. And I sent it to agents and I said, I've written this novel and I'm hugely outgoing and I've done lots of stand-up comedy and I love speaking in front of people and getting attention. I was really terribly shy and I hadn't written the book at all. It was just a load of baloney. And somebody said, an agent said, can we see the rest of it? And so I had to sit down and write it and develop a lot of self-confidence all within the space of about 2 months. And anyway, so that book was Garnet Hill and that book got published. So I don't really like to tell people that because, and then it won the John Creasy and I was a full-time writer almost as soon as the book came out, So I mean, a real fairy story in publishing terms,
That's it. You recently saw your first Paddy Meehan book, The Field of Blood, come to BBC as a mini-series with David Morrissey and Peter Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi, yeah.
Did you get that?
Did you get to see it? Did anybody get to see it? It was brilliant, and they've done another one. And they just finished filming before Christmas, and it's actually better than the book. And I know. And I said that to Wasp Factory guy, Ian Banks. I said to Ian Banks, and he said, yeah, that happened to me with The Crow Road. That's a double-edged sword, he said. Because people write to you and they say, the TV series was better than the book. I'm quite disappointed in you.
And there's more on the way?
Yep, so they filmed the second Paddy Meehan one, and they're just about to start developing the third one, which they've just bought. And Scott Free, which is Terry Scott's company, are developing the Alex Morrow books as a 6-part series. And it's quite interesting, actually, because I think influenced by Scandinavian television series, they're not doing it in the Paddy Meehan style, which is, the crime is solved after 2 hours. They're doing it as a 6-part sort of long-running series about the way the city operates and the whole of the city, so and the way things get corrupted and everything. So it's really interesting just to see that difference in the way stories are getting told on TV.
Fantastic. Going to last year, you won the Theakston's Crime Novel of the Year award, and you were, and I quote, so astonished you couldn't even swear. Can you swear for us today?
God, I can swear any time. I wish I hadn't said that, but I do swear like a trooper. I'm on my best behaviour, obviously, because it's before any of you have had a drink, but I'll be warming up later. But I honestly, I've been up for lots of prizes that year. I've been up for the Gold Dagger, and I've been all the way to LA for an LA Times award, which I lost out to some up-and-comer called Stephen King, who'd written a book about JFK. I mean, it was pretty obvious I hadn't won, so I really had a good, disappointed but resigned face. And I had my face on when they announced it. I just thought, I'll just get ahead of the game here. But I really didn't think I'd won. And I went to show that I was a good sport. And then I won. I couldn't believe it. And, I mean, I was really staggered. I was awake until about 3 in the morning, like that. Just couldn't believe it happened.
You beat some stiff competition to get it, and so now you've got 2 awards. You've got a lot of fantastic books. So do you think this is really your time? This is like Ian Rankin had Black and Blue, and now you've got Wasp Season.
Do you know what, it actually does feel like that. I mean, obviously I'm going to say that to you so that you believe in me, but it actually does feel like that. And you know, I've got a Facebook page that my American publisher set up, and Gods and Beasts came out in the States, and every week I get an update, and it says, you know, 4 people have checked out your site, and that's a reduction of 200% from last week. And so I got the result last week, and I thought, oh God, I can't bear this. It's so depressing. And it was 300,000 people had checked out my Facebook page in 1 week, and it really feels like there's a massive kind of. But a lot of that is Orion. You know, a lot of it is. It's not just happening naturally or organically. It's that you guys have really pushed me and are shoving me in the face of an unwilling public, and I'm going along with it.
So we've got Gods and Beasts out in paperback this Thursday. And we've got The Red Road is out in July. Can you tell us a bit about The Red Road?
Well, The Red Road is about 2 murders that happen on the night Diana died, and Alex Morrow has to investigate it. But because it's the night Diana died, everybody remembers where they were. And everybody, I don't know why we all told stories about where we were, but every single person in this room probably could tell us where they were that night. And it's about a young girl who's in a local authority home, and she's being pimped by somebody. And she kills 2 guys in one night. And the next scene is a man is being released from prison for one of those murders after serving a sentence for one of those murders. And it all goes back to Morrow trying to find out, and is it worth her trying to find out? Because, you know, the girl has gone on to lead a life, and the man has been in prison and is a really unpleasant character. And it's about whether it's the right thing, whether it's right to do the right thing regardless of the consequences, really.
Fantastic. I've read it, and I think it's utterly amazing.
Do you? I've just finished it. I don't know if it's any good at all.
It's award-winning. It's end of the Wasp season and better. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Denise,
That's lovely. Thank you very much.